My first year in the league, my first 2 games were Michael Jordan and then Larry Bird. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tear Larry Bird's ass. So Larry heard me.
Larry Bird didn't just welcome Jason Williams to the NBA, he personally escorted him to basketball hell. This is the wild, ridiculous, and absolutely legendary night Larry Bird humiliated an entire lineup, including a rookie who begged for smoke.
Hurt him that day.
And I was blasted, I'm not gonna lie. And we had a lunch, we were doing shots and everything.
Was that the only time you played while intoxicated?
No.
No.
And Charles Barkley comes to the game hungover. Hungover, you know? You could smell it on him. Boy smells like a sailor, man, like possum nuts, you know? So
I don't remember anything about that game. First of all, I was so pissed, but I was so drunk, too.
The ball movement by the Sixers, and Charles takes a tumble.
So I get a call from my agent, and he says, I think we got a deal. You're going to the Lakers. And I was so excited. So me and my boys went out and celebrated. We started getting drunk in the middle of the day. My agent called me back about 3 hours later. He said the Sixers pull out the...
And here's where it all starts to get insane, because Jason Williams' welcome to the NBA week was something out of a sitcom. Imagine this, your first 2 career games are against Michael Jordan, and then Larry Bird. Most rookies would be terrified, not Jason. In pure rookie confidence, he's telling teammates, man, I'm gonna tear Larry Bird up. Bold, loud, delusional, but bold. Meanwhile, chaos is brewing on his own team. Charles Barkley stumbles into the arena hungover. Not just regular hangovers, radioactive hangovers. Jason said you could literally smell the alcohol seeping out of Barkley like exhaust fumes. And to make things even funnier, Jason himself wasn't exactly in game shape either. Earlier that day, he thought he got traded to the Lakers, so he celebrated like someone who just hit the lottery. Shots at lunch, buzzing, completely rattled. Then the trade collapses, and he still has a game that night. No one remembers warm-ups, no one remembers defensive schemes. The entire team is functioning on bad decisions and worse smells. And standing on the other side of the court, watching all this unfold with that cold, calculating Bird expression, is Larry Legend himself. You can already feel what's coming, right?
Bird for 3. Charlie was in his face. Larry Bird just rose up. Nothing but net.
Larry Bird was like, oh, you've been out all night, huh?
Right.
But this is where it gets even funnier, because Bird didn't just sense weakness, he smelled it. Charles Barkley steps onto the floor and Larry Bird takes one sniff and laughs. You know it's bad when an NBA legend pauses mid-game because the scent hits him harder than a screen. He looks Barkley dead in the eye and says, oh, you've been out all night? Take this with you. And then, boom. Jumper, boom, another one. Barkley can't even lift his arms fast enough to contest. The man is sweating disappointment and tequila. Bird is lighting him up like he's punishing him for partying. The crowd can see it, the bench can see it, Jason can see it. Bird isn't just scoring, he's hunting.
As he backpedaled back, Larry Bird, he goes, give me somebody else. So they put in Rick Mahorn, and he look at Rick and say, if you got a whole ass, you got to make 2 trips, boy. You can't check me. Why? Larry Bird just talked.
Bagley for Bird, down the lane, 2 more.
Then he went over to Rick Mahorn. Come on, Rick, you can't check me. You too big. Boom, finish Rick off. Then he go, give me that guy over there, Armin Gillian. And Armin Gillian come in. And one thing about Armin, people thought when they passed the ball into the post with Armin Gillian, he wouldn't pass it back out. It's because they kept trading him so many times, and he was colorblind. That's why he held onto the ball. He didn't know what team he was on. That's true story. Then he went over to Armin Gillian. Come on, Armin, you still colorblind? Bring your ass out here. Boom.
And this part blew my mind, because once Bird finished cooking Barkley, he didn't slow down. He escalated like a villain in a movie. He turns to Philly's coach and says, give me somebody else. Who says that? Who actively asks for more victims? So here comes Rick Mahorn, big, strong, bruising Rick Mahorn, and Bird gives him the same treatment. Jumper, jab step, bucket. Then Bird hits him with the coldest line of the night. If you got a whole ass, you have to make 2 trips. That's a level of disrespect you don't recover from. Next up, Armin Gilliam. Bird doesn't even wait for the first possession. He starts roasting him immediately. Oh, Armin, are you still colorblind? Bring your ass over here. Jason said Gilliam never passed the ball back out of the post because he didn't know what team he was on after being traded so many times. And the worst part, Bird scores on all of them. One by one, they fall like dominoes, until suddenly, there's no one left to guard him, except Jason Williams.
So I'm like, put me in, coach. Right? So the whole time I'm going, coach, put me in the game. Put me in, coach. I want him. So he's lightening up on him again.
Which puts him third in the league behind Charles, who is second. Bird. Got it.
And he struts back like only Larry Bird can do. You know, he trotting back, he looks over at the bench and he goes, hey, coach, put the rookie in. I was like, yeah, put me in. You better not hope you don't put me in.
But wait, it gets way more embarrassing, because while Bird is annihilating everyone, Jason is on the bench screaming like a hype man at a rap battle. Put me in, coach. I want him. Let me get him. The Bird hears it, and Bird responds. He casually jogs back on defense, looks at Philly's bench, and yells, hey, coach, put the rookie in. Jason, still caught in rookie confidence, yells back, yeah, put me in. He doesn't want this. Spoiler, Bird definitely wanted it. Coach finally turns to Jason and says, Jay, go get him. That's the moment Jason realized he had talked himself into something he wasn't ready for. The gym suddenly felt quieter. The air felt heavier. His moment had arrived.
And I go in, yeah, what you want to do? Come on, baby, let's go. Let's get it on. So I went out there, I said, come on, man, let's go. He gave me a pump fake, man, back in the day. I could jump that high. And he gives me a pump fake, and I jumped clear across his head. I jumped up in there, came back down. He said, stupid, bap, hit a three. And when I come back down, he looks at me and goes, stupid rookie, boom, and hits a three-pointer.
Bird open.
So I'm like, oh, okay, that's one. He's Larry Bird. You know, and now the only thing that's going on my mind is all the white people in Knickerbocker watching this, right? So I live in the Lower East Side, and we have a bridge that separates pretty much the white from the black. It's the Manhattan Bridge. The Italians and Irish live in Knickerbocker, and they were all Larry Bird fans. We were all Julius Erving fans. So all growing up, I used to cry every time Larry Bird got the best of Julius Erving.
They go to Bird, isolated with Jay, spins around him. Yes, sir.
And Jay knew he was beat.
So when I finally got drafted and I got a chance to play against Larry Bird, and I knew everybody in Knickerbocker, all Irish, Catholic, Italians were going to be watching, all the brothers and black and brown people were going to be watching on this side. I was like, all right, second game in the NBA. Here we go, baby, showtime. So I'm like, okay, the next time I'm just going to play him this way. I'm not going to jump. Right. So I was like, okay, next time I ain't going to jump. So he looked at me and said, oh, you ain't going to jump? Bap! Hit another one. And he's laughing hysterical. Goes, you're not going to jump against the Bird, man? Whap! Hits another one.
Up front. Bird open. Like clockwork. Yeah.
So 6 points in not 25 seconds. So I'm going, shit, now what do I do? So I'm caught between the fart and the shit. So I'm just, I'm like half jumping, half jumping. I look like a damn orangutan. What to do? Now I'm panicking, and he just gives me a pump fake, crosses over, hits another.
Bird cross the lane, draws foul.
We got 9 points now, Ben. 9.
And here's where the psychological horror begins. Jason checks in, chest out, adrenaline pumping. He walks up to Larry Bird like he's about to make a statement. Let's go. What do you want to do? Bird doesn't even answer. He just sizes him up, gives one pump fake. And Jason jumps straight over his head like someone lit a firework under him. Full leap, no hesitation. Jason said he came down thinking, okay, I might have overcommitted. Bird calmly hits the three and says, stupid rookie. The crowd chuckles, bench chuckles, even the referees try not to smile. Next possession, Jason thinks, all right, I won't jump this time. Bird reads him instantly. Oh, you aren't going to jump. Pull up, cash. Now Jason panics. He tries a half jump, somewhere between defending and having a seizure. Bird punishes him again. Pull up, bucket, 9 points, quick. And now the panic turns existential. Jason said all he could think about was the people back home in New York, the Italians and Irish across the bridge who worshipped Larry Bird, the black and brown fans on his side who loved Dr. J, and all of them watching him get barbecued on national TV. His brain is melting. His confidence evaporates. This wasn't basketball anymore. This was survival.
I was like, well, I bet you can't take me in the post. He goes, He came back down again, right? I said, I bet you can't take me on the post. Post me up. 5 down, he calls. They throw the ball in the post. Gave me one of these run on post.
Bird backs up on Williams, hit it, and
Just when Jason thinks it can't get worse, he makes the worst decision of the night. Out of sheer desperation, he says to Bird, "Bet you can't take me in the post." Bird doesn't even respond verbally, he just signals the play. 5 down. They feed him the ball. Bird backs Jason down like he's moving furniture. No rush, no struggle, just pure control. Then, turnaround, bucket, and the foul. Jason said that's when he started reconsidering his entire life. He remembered his dad telling him he should become a brick mason. And for the first time, he believed it. He genuinely wondered if he belonged in the NBA. He walked back down the court thinking, maybe basketball isn't for me. Maybe I should start packing boxes. Bird didn't just beat him physically, he broke him spiritually.
So now, second half starts, and the same thing. Larry started lighting up one, and lighting up another one, lighting up another one. They get to me at the end of the bench. I started looking up in the stands with the fans. Right, and the coach comes down to the bench. You got nobody else to put in the game. And he looks at me, and I start looking into the stands with the fans. I wouldn't give no eye contact to Jimmy Line and the coach. And I was like, please, don't put me back in there with that white guy. Please, whatever you do. I was like, please don't put me back in. Right. Now, that's the only punk story you're going to get from me because I was scared.
But here's my favorite part. Because after halftime, the cycle restarts. Barkley gets cooked again, Mahorn gets cooked again, Gilliam gets cooked again. One by one, Bird crushes them, and now it's time for substitutions. The coach looks down the bench. Slowly, deliberately. Jason knows what's coming, so he refuses to make eye contact. He starts staring into the stands like he's admiring architecture, anything to avoid the coach's gaze. He's thinking, please don't put me back in with that white guy. Please, please, please. Jason admits this was the only time in his entire basketball life that he was scared to re-enter a game. Not injured, not fatigued. Just scared of Larry Bird, the rookie who begged to get in. I was now praying to stay out.
So fast forward about 6-7 years later, I make the All-Star team. And then when I got to the rookie team, the All-Star game, I walk in and Larry Bird's the coach. And he's our coach. And when you make the All-Star team, you go in and they have your minutes on because our Eagles are so big and people think there's coaching that goes on in that game. Oh, in the NBA, there's really no coaching. The NBA is 80% personnel. That's your team. 10% coaching, 10% luck. That's how you win games. But you go in and minutes are on the refrigerator, and I go in and I say, "Hey, how you doing, coach?" And Larry Bird looks at me and goes, "Your minutes on the refrigerator. Your minutes are on the refrigerator." I was like, "Thanks, coach." And I started walking over to go see my minutes. He goes, "You fucking rookie."
Fast forward 6 or 7 years, Jason improves, grows, and becomes an all-star. Big moment, huge honor, and guess who the coach is? Larry Bird. Jason walks in with all the veterans ready for a fresh start. He approaches Larry respectfully. "How are you doing, coach?" The Bird doesn't blink, he just says, "Your minutes are on the refrigerator." Jason nods, starts walking toward it, and Bird calls out behind him, "You muff rookie." 6 years later, Bird is still remembered, still laughing, still holding onto the rookie who jumped over his head. Jason said Bird didn't say anything else to him the entire weekend, just that one reminder, that one wound reopened. Bird never forgets a victim, and if you think that was wild, Larry Bird didn't save this behavior for rookies. He treated the entire league like a comedy stage. The three-point contest call-out.
A nice guy.
Bird against Elo with 10 on the shot clock. A shot, and of course a basket.
Matter of fact, there was one game and he was having a pretty rough first half.
So that night against the Celtics, I thought I was playing some pretty good defense on him. In the first half, he was like 1 for 9 or something like that.
I kind of puffed up on him and walked beside him and was like, "Yeah, you're 1 for 10. I was like, "That's defense, and he just kind of looked at me and said, "There's 2 halves."
And when we came out in the second half, that's when he told me, "I hope your mom's not watching because I'm about to embarrass you." And I was like, "Why would you say that to me?"
And he came back out and hit about 10 in a row on me. And the last one was
In the famous three-point shootout, Bird walks into the locker room filled with the best shooters alive and announces, "Which one of you is coming in second?" Silence. He wins the contest, drains 11 straight threes, and hits the final money ball off the backboard just because he can. This man wasn't a trash talker, he was a trash prophet. Larry Bird didn't just welcome players to the league, he baptized them in humiliation, one jumper at a time. And if this story cracked you up, wait till you hear the next one. Drop your thoughts below, hit like, subscribe, and stick around. More insane NBA stories are coming your way.